awesome sauce. We say that in my family. I apologize if you don't like awesome sauce, but that's just what we do here. So welcome to Empower People. And our course this afternoon is optimizing retirement plan offerings for enhanced employee engagement and retention. That's a lot of words, but I think at the end of the day, it's how do we keep your people happy? Is that fair? Like if we were
Oh,
just summing.
absolutely.
Okay. So our instructor today is Ashby Price, and with a whole lot of letters next to his name, which means he is the guru on this topic. So Ashby, if you could go to the next slide, we'll say our oath.
Okay.
Awesome sauce again. So if you could repeat after me, and Ashby, I usually say the oath if you just want to mute yourself because you know Zoom doesn't like it when multiple people are talking at the same time.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So if everybody, even those on Facebook, please repeat after me. I, Tiffany Joy Green, do solemnly swear to accept a lifelong obligation to hone my superhero powers and apply those superhero powers to the good of the people I serve. I will promote and add to the ongoing success of Empower People, its members, and the people, organizations, and communities it serves. I will help prepare the next generation of superheroes. I am driven to be a positive change agent for those I serve and interact with, and will just take a quick moment. It'll change the rest of your day, especially if you may be feeling a little down and out. Let's do superhero pose. Hands on the hip, head looking up toward the sky. It makes you feel like you could conquer anything. Perfect. Boom. Ashby, it's on you now.
Hey, hold on. Let me put on my cape. Okay. There we go.
I have one.
Well, great. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much. Everyone who's joining, really appreciate your time as well. And yeah, today we're going to talk about optimizing benefits and employee engagement, retention, and retention strategies for businesses to really help you be a superhero for your employees. So with that, I will go on to the next slide. So really the outcomes today that I'd like for everyone to be familiar with is retirement plans. What do retirement plans for businesses and nonprofits do? They actually help provide better outcomes for the organization and for the employees. They also help with employee retention metrics. There are some tax incentives for small to mid-sized businesses to start up retirement plans, and I'll go through that later. I'm going to go through different retirement plan types that could be appropriate for various organizations. I'm going to talk about some legislation and changes that that are due to, some Secure Act 2.0 law that was passed into law a couple of years ago, and then we'll open it up to Q&A at the end. So who am I? I am actually a native of Richmond, Virginia. I've lived in Richmond my entire life. It's amazing to see how the city has really evolved since I've been here. I was actually in Scott's Addition yesterday, and 20 years ago, Scott's Addition was completely different from what it looked like yesterday. So it's amazing to see kind of the transition, the positive transition in Richmond. I've been in the financial services industry for over 20 years. Really, I've helped business owners, employees of businesses, and nonprofits. I'm currently the president of the CFA Society of Virginia. It's a nonprofit organization. We have about 650 members in the state of Virginia, and really our goal is to increase the ethical and professional standards in the investment industry. I am the past president of the Central Virginia Employee Benefits Council. It's a group of employee benefits professionals who really collectively share best practices and ideas. And I'm community driven and focus on giving back. I'm a big believer that helping others, giving back to the community ultimately benefits everyone. So really focus my time and effort on giving back to the community and helping others. With retirement plans, really, we've seen since COVID, so many employees are so much more engaged in evaluating any type of retirement benefits that are available to them by their employer. And really, since COVID, over the past 4 or 5 years, retirement plans have resulted in better outcomes for not only businesses, but nonprofits. And one of the main reasons why they're better outcomes is because it helps attract employees that you want to attract. It helps retain employees as well for you to continue to grow your organization. And there are performance incentives as well for the employees. And for-profit businesses, there are some federal tax benefits. So for business owners, offering a retirement plan can be very beneficial from a tax perspective, in addition to rewarding your team and growing your business. Really, that kind of some of the metrics are very important to kind of go through. So really, with employees that have a like an employer-sponsored retirement plan, they feel much more valued by their employer than those that do not. So as you can see, those with the retirement plan, the metrics are 76% that feel valued by their employer versus 58% for those employees who do not have any type of employer-sponsored retirement plan. Job satisfaction is also higher by about 15 percentage points. So in addition, it decreases the turnover rate for the employees within the organization and increases the average tenure for those employees. And employees are more likely to stay 5 or more years if an employer or both a nonprofit and a for-profit offer an organization. And as you can see on the right, 65% of employees really consider retirement benefits such as a 401k or 403b as one of the top 3 benefits when looking for a new job. So it's not only salary that's important to those individuals, it's also what benefits in addition to a salary are provided. In addition, 60% of employees indicate that their employer's retirement benefits are really a significant reason for staying with their current employer. So really overall, to summarize, offering a retirement plan and a retirement incentive for employees, it's a good way to attract, reward, and retain employees to really help increase the success of the organization. Financial wellness is very important as well, and we incorporate financial wellness as part of retirement benefits. So the employees who do participate in a retirement plan, they feel much more financially secure than those employees who do not have an employer-sponsored retirement plan. And many others feel much more confident that they are on track for retirement, that if they do have an employer-sponsored retirement plan, as compared to having no retirement plan at all. In addition, there's reduced financial stress for those employees that have the availability to participate in an employer-sponsored retirement plan as compared to no employer-sponsored retirement plan at all. With retaining employees is so important because the cost to replace an employee, especially key employees, it can be very costly. So the Society for Human Resources Management indicates that it actually costs the company about 6 to 9 months of an employee's salary to replace them. And based on various levels and positions, it could cost anywhere from 30 to 50% of an employee's annual salary for entry level and non-skilled positions, all the way up to like 4 times an employee's annual salary for C-suite executives or highly specialized employees. So evaluating retirement plan that's most appropriate for an organization, either a small to mid-sized business or a nonprofit, is very important because attracting and retaining employees is so important, not only for the health of the organization, but also for cost management. As you can see, you know, anywhere again from entry level to C-suite executives, it's going to cost an employer to have to, if they lose an employee, to have to go out and replace that employee with a new hire. So in terms of solutions that are available for organizations, both for-profits and nonprofits, what's available? What's available for you to help attract, retain, and reward employees? One is Retire Path Virginia. This is a new state mandated retirement plan that's available in the state of Virginia. So any employer that has 25 or more full-time equivalent employees, and if they've been in business for 2 years or more, and they do not currently have a retirement plan that they provide to their employees, either a 401k plan, a simple IRA plan, or a SEP IRA plan, then these employers are going to be mandated to offer some type of retirement plan for those employees. And if an eligible employer does not go to Retire Path Virginia, which is the state mandated program, or set up their own retirement plan, then there's a $200 fine per employee per year. So it could be very costly if employers who should have a retirement plan do not set one up. So it's very important for employers to consider what is potentially available to them, and if they're required to offer a retirement plan. Because if they are and they do not offer a retirement plan, there are going to be penalties associated with not offering a plan. So it could be costly in many regards. So again, this is some of the some of the criteria for Retire Path Virginia. It's a state law, so all employers should have kind of enrolled by February the 15th of 2024 if they do qualify, and if they do not currently have an employer-sponsored retirement plan. So really with Retire Path Virginia, it's more of an IRA, where it's a payroll deduction IRA going into a state IRA for the eligible employees. There is no employer matching requirement or no fiduciary requirement, but the employers do have to be mindful of the payroll. The default contribution into an eligible employee's Retire Path Virginia account would be 5% of their overall salary. So those employers just have to be mindful of that with payroll. But if an employer, or if a for-profit employer does not have a retirement plan and is looking to set up a retirement plan, there are tax credits that are available for startup plans. The government several years ago saw that so many individuals had not saved enough for retirement, and so many small businesses did not offer any type of retirement plan for their employees. So the government is now offering tax credits, not tax deductions, but tax credits to help offset part or all of the cost to set up a 401k plan or employer-sponsored retirement plan, to really help ease the burden for small to mid-sized businesses to really offer these great benefits for their employees. And with Retire Path Virginia, going back to my prior slide, the state mandated plan, there is no tax credit available for this plan. The tax credits are available for employers setting up their own retirement plan like a 401k or simple IRA. What credits are available? So there's a startup credit for employers that start up a 401k plan. It's up to a $5,000 credit per year for the first 3 years that a 401k plan is established to help offset retirement plan costs. And in addition, if the employer automatically enrolls the employees, there's an additional $500 tax credit per year for the first 3 years. And one of the great benefits for employers who offer an employer matching contribution, there are additional credits above and beyond the startup tax credit and the automatic enrollment tax credit. So the employer contribution credit can be very impactful and really result in a lot of tax savings, which I'll go into in a minute. Here are 2 examples of a business with 20 employees that starts up a 401k plan as compared to a business with 55 employees that starts up a 401k plan. So the business with the 20 employees could receive up to a $5,000 startup tax credit for the first 3 years of setting up the retirement plan, in addition to the $500 per year automatic enrollment tax credit that I mentioned a minute ago for the first 3 years. But most of the tax credits coming from, as you can see, the employer contribution tax credit. So there is a tax credit to help offset the employer matching contribution that businesses make for employees that make under $100,000. So that's where a majority of the tax credit could come from for a lot of small to mid-sized businesses. And as you can see, the smaller business with 20 employees, the estimated tax credit over a 5-year period, including the startup tax credit, the employer contribution tax credit, and the automatic enrollment tax credit, it equates to about almost $87,000 of tax credit. So that is true tax savings for these small businesses. And if we look at a slightly larger business that has 55 employees, the majority of the tax credit comes from that employer contribution or employer matching contribution tax credit. So that's almost $190,000 in tax credits alone for this business. So as you can see in both of these illustrations, that the tax credits that are available to small to mid-sized businesses, they're very impactful. So the government, again, is really trying to encourage small to mid-sized businesses to offer a retirement plan to help reward, retain, and really help their employees save for retirement. And as you can see, these tax credits are pretty impressive for what's available to small businesses. And what types of retirement plans are available? One is a simplified employee pension IRA. So you may have heard of a SEP IRA. So really SEP IRAs can be established by like self-employed individuals, partnerships, corporations, and nonprofit groups. Really some of the key features of a SEP IRA, there are no employee contributions. It's only employer contributions. There is minimal paperwork and reporting. And you do have to offer like the same percentage contribution to each eligible employee. With the simple IRA, simple IRAs are available to like nonprofits and small businesses that have 100 or fewer employees. Simple IRA is a little less expensive typically than a 401k plan, but there's not as much flexibility with designing the retirement plan based on the demographics and needs of not only the business or the nonprofit, but also the employees. With the 401k, I'm seeing more 401k retirement plans for both businesses and nonprofits. Nonprofits can set up a 401k plan. And with a 401k, some of the key features, you can add employer matching contributions. It's not mandatory, but you can offer employer matching contributions. You can offer various vesting schedules for the employer matching contributions. So that means that an employee has to stay with the business or with the nonprofit for a certain period of time to be fully vested in the employer matching contribution. So it's really a good way to incentivize employees to stay longer and really align the benefits of the organization with kind of the retention strategy of the employees. Employees could take a loan from a 401k as well. There's some tax implications there, but offering a loan within a 401k could be appropriate for certain organizations. And the contribution limits for 401k are higher than they are for a simple IRA. So employees can defer up to next year, starting in 2025, $23,500 into their 401k account if they're under the age of 50. If they're age 50 or older, there are additional, it's called catch-up contributions that are available. And these contribution limit amounts do not include any employer matching contributions. So participating in a 401k plan, the limits are higher than other retirement plans, and it really is a good way to help your employees kind of maximize their retirement savings. One kind of design.
We got about 5 minutes, just so you know, so you can
Okay.
manage time.
Yeah, one plan design option that I've been doing recently is deferred compensation. So deferred compensation is really it's non-qualified, so it's not like a 401k plan. It's not covered under a ERISA law. With deferred compensation, it really is an arrangement where you can select key employees who are key to an organization, and you can actually defer a portion of their compensation into future years and put a vesting schedule on that deferred compensation. You could say, hey, Tiffany, I'm going to hire you as as an employee. You can participate in the 401k plan, but we're going to offer you a deferred compensation plan above and beyond the 401k, but we're going to put a 3-year vesting schedule on this deferred compensation plan. So if you end up leaving within that 3-year period, you don't receive any of the deferred compensation. But if you stay for 3 years or more, you're 100% vested. So that compensation that's been deferred into future years, assuming you meet that vesting schedule, that's your money. You can take it after you meet that threshold. There are various types of deferred compensation plans. I know we're short on time, so you can fund it with company cash. You can fund it with like mutual funds, like an investment account, or corporate-owned life insurance. And corporate-owned life insurance typically is the most tax efficient way for a company to offer a deferred compensation plan. And just quickly, why is it so important for you as an employer to offer a retirement plan in addition to rewarding and retaining your employees? It's helping them save for retirement, because people right now are not saving enough for retirement. And as you can see from this chart, Social Security only replaces about 1/3 of retirement income for high earners. So a majority of kind of the retirement income needs to come from retirement savings through 401ks, through IRAs, and other retirement plans. So incentivizing your employees to save now is a really good way to help them in the future. I say save now. It's never too late to save. It's better to start now than never, and it's really going to add up over time. And people are living longer, so it's really good to start saving, start contributing as much as you can to your employer's retirement plan if they offer one. And Saving early makes a significant difference. So the earlier you could start, really the better it is going to be for you long term. And there was Secure Act 2.0, it's legislation that was passed 2 years ago. So it's just going through some key provisions that are in effect now. A couple of things that I want to highlight, again, the tax credits for small employers. It's really good. It could be very impactful to offset the startup costs for a retirement plan. And really the main kind of provision that's going to go into effect in 2025. Individuals who are age 60 to 63 during the 2025 calendar year, they have a higher catch-up contribution limit. So they can contribute more than all the other employees within the retirement plan if they're age 60 to 63 in 2025. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Thank you, Ashby. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in Facebook land. We'll catch you on the flip side. Old school terminology. I started with awesome sauce. I end up with flip side. So we'll see you later, and we'll continue the question and answer period for the Empower People members.